Hello, and welcome to episode 29 of the Real Serious Podcast. As always, I am your host, Hunter, along with Jack and Charles. And it's our first Marvel movie ever. We're talking Deadpool and Wolverine today, which is very exciting. Before we get into that, what's up, boys? How are we?
I think this is the most excited I've been for a podcast that I've been on for. I think we just have so much to talk about. I think this is the most excited I've been since Furiosa.
We got a lot of stuff.
In terms of like the content that we have watched or the content that has come out over the course of that week.
I mean, so obviously we have Deadpool Wolverine to talk about, but then San Diego Comic-Con happened. We got some awesome trailers. And so we got a lot to cover. But hey, that's the podcast game. Some weeks are big, and this is one of those weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how's New York, Charles? Did you get to see it on the biggest screen in America?
I don't think so. I went to the Times Square AMC yesterday to see it again, and I was in Theater 1. It was IMAX, but It didn't really look bigger than the one that we saw in Indy. It didn't look any bigger than that. I don't think it was. So maybe I was doing something wrong, but it was still good seeing an IMAX.
Did you guys go to the 70 millimeter in Indy?
We didn't do the 70 millimeter. We did the just regular IMAX. No,
Gotcha.
Because the 70 millimeter is downtown Indy. It's at the Science Center.
I don't think I've ever seen a 70 millimeter movie then. I don't really know.
Probably not. It'd be hard. You'd know if you went and saw one.
How do you know?
Because it's my hair is really messing up on this hat. It's harder to get tickets for that. So you would be like, oh, I definitely bought tickets for this. Like it's on the ticket.
But what's the difference in quality? Like, is it like a noticeable difference?
It's like showing an actual film instead of digitally. Like a film actually runs through the reel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Jack, you good? You almost done with your internship?
Yeah, I got 2 more weeks left. Caitlin's moving out today, so a little bit sad.
Yeah, you're gonna be there by yourself for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but AMC Stubbs List is going to be my best friend.
Yeah,
for the next 2 weeks. When I tell you that I have fully planned out, like I don't think I've ever used all 3 of my tickets in 1 week. Like I've used 2 out of 3, but I've never done 3 out of 3. So I think I will use all 3 of my tickets this week as well as next week.
Nice.
So
as you should.
I'm very, very excited. I'm going to catch up on some stuff that needed to catch up on. So it's going to be an exciting next 2 weeks.
Nice. Yeah.
What about you, Hunter?
Hunter, how's your job?
Been good.
Better be pretty good if you had to bail on San Diego.
I know. I had to be on Comic-Con because I had to work yesterday, which was Saturday. Definitely bummed that I missed the RDJ stuff and everything else going on at Comic-Con. But next year we go bigger, we go better, we go stronger. All the Comic-Con. So I'm like bummed, but I'm also like looking forward to that. So we just got to make sure we get tickets, I guess. It's going to be the thing. But yeah. All right. What have we been watching this week? I never go first. So I'm going first this time. So I didn't watch a lot this week, which is a bummer, but work gets in the way of some things. But start off with Logan. I gave that 5 stars in a rewatch. Logan it's incredible. Like I really wanted to rewatch it obviously before Deadpool Wolverine to give me kind of a good understanding of Logan and that character. And I also wanted to watch it to see if I felt like Deadpool Wolverine changed my opinion of Logan. Spoiler alert, it did not, so that's good. And then I rewatched a very hyped superhero movie before the Deadpool Wolverine, so I watched The Flash. Gave that 2.5 stars on rewatch. It's just not good. Like there's a lot of moments that are good, but the overall package is really poorly done. So yeah, not good. And then Deadpool Wolverine, we'll talk about it in a little bit. And then I finished the week off with The Breakfast Club, which I gave 5 stars. I think it's like, not even gonna lie, a perfect film. So that is all I watched this week.
Thank you. Jack, you wanna?
Yeah, my week was, it just felt different not having the boys this week. I don't know about you
It
guys,
did.
but
It did feel
Thursday I
different.
just woke up and it didn't feel the same. I mean, Thursday felt different because I knew that was like I was seeing Deadpool, so I was super excited for that. But I don't know, having the boys come out on Thursdays, it's just I don't know, something different. But I watched High School Musical 3 senior year again. That's
Pretty
always a
equivalent to the boys.
classic with
Goated.
Caitlin and her friends.
Yep.
So watched that. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think the music in that is just
Goated.
It's just so good.
So
It's so good. And then I wanted to see what peak animation looked like, so I watched Monsters Inc. I'm a big Monsters Inc. fan. I think it's just, I mean, I watched it a lot when I was a kid. It's very nostalgic for me, but I think the story still holds up very well. I don't know. That's just one I don't think I'll ever get tired of. And then Deadpool Wolverine, gave Monsters Inc. 4.5 stars. And I said this in my Letterboxd review, but it's only a matter of time until this is 5 stars for me. So maybe one more time, and then I'm gonna let it rip.
Nice.
But Deadpool Wolverine, and that's my week. Very
nice.
A little bit slower week, but yeah. What about you?
Sometimes it's quality over quantity. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I had a lot of quality.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, you watch what one thing?
Yeah, I'll make it easy for you, fellas. I watched one thing, and it's Deadpool Wolverine, and we're going to review it later. So better than last week. Yeah, better than last week, which was 0. So yeah, I was supposed to see Inception last night at the Rooftop Cinema Club.
Oh.
But I kind of just forgot about it, and my phone was on a low battery, and I forgot to get tickets, and then I didn't talk to my friends about it, so I was like, maybe it wasn't meant to be.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. I guess. Oh, I did want to talk about one thing. I wrote it down, and it's not news related, but I have a weird Russell Crowe thing. So
don't say you don't like him. Don't say
no. I like Russell Crowe, but I walked into the living room, and the Rents were watching some Netflix movie that looked awful. And lo and behold, Russell Crowe shows up. And I'm like, that is weird. I feel like he's been in a lot of bad movies the last few years. So let me just tell you his IMDb real fast. So since The Nice Guys, which is one of my all-time favorite movies, which was in 2016, he was in and starred in The Mummy, which was Tom Cruise's really only flop, a Netflix movie called War Machine, a movie called Boy Erased that has bad reviews, The True Story of the Kelly Gang, which has bad reviews, Unhinged, which has bad reviews, probably one of the worst Marvel movies ever, in Thor: Love and Thunder. He was in The Greatest Beer Run Ever, which is Apple TV with bad reviews, Poker Face, which has a 5 on IMDb, The Pope's Exorcist. He was in WrestleMania. He was in a movie called Sleeping Dogs, and another movie called The Exorcism, which is not connected to The Pope's Exorcist. And The Exorcism is sitting at a 4.1 on IMDb. And he's also going to be in Kraven the Hunter later this year. I just got to say, what happened to Russell Crowe? I mean, that is depressing to read. The last decade of his career is that when he was the guy.
He was Maximus.
I mean, he went from, I guess so, but if you go back, he had LA Confidential, Gladiator, obviously, The Insider, Proof of Life, Beautiful Mind, Cinderella Man, Master Commander, 3:10 to Yuma, State of Play, Robin Hood. It's honestly a bummer.
I think he's just having fun. He's probably what, 55, 60 now?
Well, let me mention Les Mis, which this comes up pretty often. This actually came up at dinner last night. I don't know. Have you guys seen Les Mis?
No, you talked about Les Mis at dinner? My kind of guy.
We talked about how everyone in the cast, or a lot of people in the cast, are very, very talented vocalists. I don't know if that's.
And then there's Russell Crowe.
And then there's Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe is horrendous.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Should have auto-tuned him a little bit. Yeah.
They should have. They really
It's like
should.
Pierce Brosnan and Mamma Mia.
He's got a big role. Pierce Brosnan just has that charisma factor, though, you know?
But he sounds so bad.
Oh, he does. He has one song, though. He's got, like, it's just, he's enough.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know what happened to Russell Crowe, man.
He's just having fun. He doesn't need to come out with bangers. He's older. He's just enjoying himself.
Is he having fun? Do we know that Russell Crowe is having fun?
I'm inferring.
I would think maybe. But yeah, that's my weird Russell Crowe thing. I don't know. I just kind of bummed me out that he was there. I won't lie.
Yeah, that sucks.
All right, let's get into some news. Obviously, some news is less exciting than others. Starting off, Spawn. Spawn has been long rumored to get a reboot in the comic book genre, and it seems like it's finally coming. Nearly a decade after teaming up with Blumhouse, it seems like it's coming. Apparently, Jimmy Fox is still signed on for the role, so pretty exciting. I think Spawn is pretty.
Did you guys see the first season of
First
Spawn?
Spawn?
The first Spawn.
I have seen the first Spawn. It's been a while, but I have seen it.
Is it a movie or a TV show?
So there is a movie and a TV show.
Okay.
And now this one is called King Spawn.
Okay.
So they're ready to start soonish, hopefully. I still would expect this movie not for another 2-3 years at minimum. So King Spawn. Okay. Moving forward quickly. I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot lands 2025 release. So they're doing a new I Know What You Did Last Summer, which I like the first one. Apparently, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr., who starred in the first one, are in talks to reprise their roles. We're getting a lot of these kind of reboots from 90s movies now. So if we're going to do it, hopefully it's done well. But I Know What You Did Last Summer, I think could work. I think we don't get a lot of like slashers besides the Scream franchise, so I'll take it. I know Chuck's not a big slasher guy, so he probably doesn't care about this.
I haven't even heard of I Know What You Did Last Summer. I've never even heard of it.
Well, when I looked it up, I just noticed it was, Velma, or not Velma, Daphne and Freddie.
Yeah,
they're together. I don't know their full. I don't know their real name. I just know that my
Daphne,
Freddie, and Daphne.
Are those
Daphne.
the actor, and actress? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, probably how they're best known, if I'm being honest.
It's peak cinema. That's what you'd want to be known for.
100%. Those movies actually are great. I'm not gonna lie. The Scooby-Doo movies are great. Venice Film Festival.
Nice cup, Jack.
Dude, I've been showing this off for like the entire time.
I don't have the.
You have?
Right, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about Deadpool when we get to that.
I didn't even notice. Shoot, sorry. I saw those. Yeah,
I know.
In the background.
All right, we'll get to there when we get there.
He's cheesing. He's excited about it.
Oh God! All right, the 10 most anticipated films at Venice this year. Venice is coming very soon, so here's just 10 movies that are going to be there. Joker 2. The first Joker won the Lion there, so that was like the big award. Maybe Joker 2 will repeat it. Then there's Maria, which is going to be a awards, kind of a big awards movie. Angelina Jolie is starring. Then there's Wolves, which we've obviously talked about the show before. That's George Clooney and Brad Pitt's movie. The Room Next Door, starring Tilda Swinton and Julianne Moore. A movie called Baby Girl, which is Nicole Kidman and Harris Dickinson. And it seems like it's a high-powered CEO who is trying to get this guy to fall in love with her. Drama, obviously. Beetlejuice 2. The Brutalist. The Order. And that's kind of it for this list. So the thing I like about Venice, though, is I feel like it's a lot more films that are like going to be in theaters. So I think it's a better kind of gauge of what we're going to get compared to, obviously, other film festivals. some things go to streaming, some things go other places. So I like it.
I think on that list, I think it's just funny because you're reading and it's like drama, 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 Beetlejuice 2. I just feel like they're kind of out of place.
Yeah, it's like Beetlejuice 2 and Joker. It's like, all right.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that means we'll get Joker 2 reactions pretty soon. So
yeah, and it also means
that's
they're
really
confident.
exciting.
I would say.
Yeah.
It means they're confident what they have.
I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. So
I agree.
Speaking of getting thoughts, whatever happened to Megalopolis? When is that coming out to theaters?
So that's coming soon. I think in November. There is some drama around it right now. Apparently, a video leaked of his name slipped my mind. That's annoying. I mean, so yeah, apparently a video of Francis Ford Coppola kind of leaked of him acting very inappropriately with extras on set.
Oh.
Because of that, I don't fully know if we're going to get it now, which obviously is disgusting that he did that. But still kind of up in the air of what's really happening with that. So I guess as more news comes out, we'll let you know.
Gee, that sounds good.
Yeah, real bad. A24 is getting another Zac Efron movie called Famous. It's going to be his next A24 movie after The Iron Claw. And it seems like it's playing Zac Efron as two people in the movie, both the famous actor and a overzealous fan, which is kind of interesting to see. Maybe he'll try to replace himself. I don't know, but I like Zac Efron taking more serious roles, if I'm being honest.
I'm pumped. He was awesome in The Iron Claw. He should have gotten way. I feel like from, not necessarily from the critics. I don't think the critics gave him the the credit that he really deserved for that role. But I think the audience and the people that really did enjoy that movie saw how much he put into that role and how awesome he was. So
I agree.
Super excited for this. But when you say two people, just for some reason, Jack and Jill just like immediately popped in my head.
A24's Jack and Jill Inbound. That'd actually be kind of awesome.
Adam Sandler will be in this movie as well.
Yeah,
playing
as Jack and Jill. It's actually a Jack and Jill sequel. That's what no one else wants you to know.
Oh, brother.
That movie is so bad.
It sucked.
I just love Dunkachino. I love it when anything like Al
What's
Pacino
my
does
name?
that's even
Dunkachino.
When he does anything that's even remotely like big news, it's like famous actor from Jack and Jill, Al Pacino, set to star in.
I think that movie also has a Jared Fogle cameo, which is shocking. I'll show you how long ago that was made.
That movie is just such a dumpster fire.
Oh, it's so bad. Glenn Powell confirms he has a Top Gun 3 start date. So Top Gun 3 apparently has a start date for filming. I would take this with a grain of salt because I bet Paramount just has the start date penciled in so that they're not busy. And if they're there to make it, they're there to make it. If not, it's not ready, then we'll just push it off again. I would assume that that's what this means. But yeah, Top Gun 3, I mean, I don't know. I think if Tom Cruise believes in it to make it, it's going to be good. And if he doesn't believe in making it, I don't think they're going to make it. So,
have we talked about them coming out with the Top Gun 3 before on the pod?
I think once. Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember. I feel like this is the first time hearing of it. Maybe I just forgot. Okay. Cool.
So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if this actually comes to fruition because I feel like if it's not perfect, Tom Cruise wouldn't do it.
I feel like there's also a good chance that, I mean, Tom Cruise isn't going to release it if it isn't good, but I still think there's a chance they release it and it's still not nearly as good as Top Gun or Top Gun Maverick.
Maybe.
I think Top Gun Maverick was just so good.
I think Top Gun Maverick is like possibly perfect. Like I think it's like 100 out of 100. Like it's amazing.
It's amazing. And I think to come out with the third one, it's just tough to. I think it's just a very terrifying task to take on because of how greatly it was perceived by audiences. I mean, it's made $1 billion. It was this massive movie. So
yeah,
if he can replicate it, I'm cool with it, but it's going to be tough.
very tough. All right, Transformers 1. We're going to talk about the trailer for Transformers 1 very soon, but they had their first screening in LA and New York. And the reactions are in and are extremely positive. Now, obviously,
really,
very, very positive. So people are saying
that's surprising.
Why are they saying? Why are you surprised?
Just continue.
Oh, well, okay, jeez. Yeah, they're saying it's the best Transformers yet, and it's really, really good. So, kind of cool.
Okay.
Chuck is shocked.
Why?
We'll
are you so
talk about
shocked?
we'll talk about in the trailers.
All right. Okay.
Fair enough.
That's fine. Terrifier 3. The Terrifier franchise is a franchise that I don't think any of us have watched. I'd be shocked, honestly, if we had.
I've seen it.
You seen Terrifier?
No, I haven't. That would have been really cool though if I had.
Yeah, that was like the one horror movie you watched. Obviously, it's full of gore, full of everything. So it's coming out October 11th, and it's going to be Christmas themed. So awesome. But yeah, if this is for you, this is about as good as it's going to get. And if it's not for you, like probably for us, I think we'll say pass. I think we'll say pass on this.
This looks terrifying.
Yeah, it's like it's full of gore in like the worst possible ways.
It looks so scary.
It's pretty scary. It's just not for me.
My goodness.
In the same way, it's for some people like a lot. So, yucky. No thank you, but also I'm very happy people are excited about it. Charles, want to talk some Steven Spielberg? Want to talk some Spielberg?
Yeah, I think I would.
Okay. Well, I think that's about to happen. May 2026, new Spielberg movie.
Skibidi Toilet.
Skibidi Toilet Riz is coming. Which we actually do have to talk about that, which is insane.
Anyway, Spielberg. Sorry,
I didn't even Google it.
Sorry, I saw Skibidi Toilet in it.
No, that's coming. Don't worry. So, Spielberg's UFO movie, which is called, I think they're calling it right now, The Dish, is found its 2 leads. It'll star Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor. Emily Blunt, obviously, from a lot of things, probably most famously now is Oppenheimer. And then Josh O'Connor would be probably most famously now Challengers or The Crown. So yeah, I think Steven Spielberg, obviously very exciting. He's back kind of doing a big blockbuster like this. And I think if I look at May 2026, I believe that is the same month as Avengers Doomsday. So good luck, Steven, going up against Avengers Doomsday. But yeah, it's pretty exciting, actually. I'm not going to lie. So, all right. Let's talk. Since Charlie brought it up, let's talk about the Skibidi Toilet movie.
Maybe Steven Spielberg's The Dish is connected to toilet.
Yeah, it's actually a Skibidi Toilet movie. All right. I think this was, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever felt old on an internet meme with Skibidi Toilet. I just didn't get it. I was late to it. And I'm pretty online, and like this was not on my radar. So Skibidi Toilet. Skibidi Toilet is, I guess, a meme. I don't
Yeah,
really get it.
I think it is a meme. I think they were
Well,
saying
anyway,
when I went a few.
Michael Bay is going to make a film and television franchise about Skibidi Toilet. Michael Bay, you're better than this, man. You're better than this.
What is Skibidi Toilet, though?
That's actually the most exciting news to come out this week.
Yeah.
If you guys weren't aware. Yeah.
Wait, have you guys looked up Skibidi Toilet?
Yes, I know the image. It's stupid.
It's like some weird. I don't even know what it is.
It's just a dude with a really long neck coming out of a toilet.
Okay, that's
with his eyes like that.
See, this is like Five Nights at Freddy's to the max. Like Five Nights at Freddy's, this massive like video game, like phenomenon. Everyone loved it. Skibidi Toilet, there's like nothing. It's just like he's just like some dude popping out of a toilet, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Michael Bay went from directing these masterpieces to, you know what? Maybe Skibidi Toilet is a masterpiece. I don't want to talk down on it before I even give it a chance. So
it's gonna be the best action we've ever seen out of Skibidi Toilet.
Oh my god! All right, ready for this? I'm on the YouTube channel. Skibidi Toilet episodes 39 through 59, which is seasons 13 through 19, has 155 million views in the last 10 months.
That's ridiculous.
That is insane.
That is the definition of brain rot.
Skibidi Toilet number 66 has 91 million views in the last 9 months.
Brain rot.
Brain rot in theaters. This is a new level of entertainment, gentlemen.
I think it just means I'm old. If I don't get any of this, I think it just means that I'm old and I'm officially past my internet prime. And I'm outside of the bubble on this one.
Well, I feel like I'm with you on that one. I'm with you.
I think I've been out of it for a while. There have been so many memes where I've been like, "What? What? This is
way too many.
What?
What?
All right, let's get back into news that we know about, and that is The Boys. The Boys is getting a spin-off show called Vought Rising. It is described as LA Confidential with superheroes. It's going to be a prequel show starring Jensen Ackles' Soldier Boy and Anya Cash's Stormfront. So it's going to take place in like the 50s or 60s, and it's going to be about Soldier Boy and Stormfront, which will be interesting because obviously we have seen them now, and we know that Stormfront is quite literally a Nazi. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of goes. But we also learned that. Oh yeah, I bet you at that time will be Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we also found out that Gen V definitely comes out next year, so we're getting a Gen V next year, and that The Deep will be in Gen V season 2. And then we got confirmed as well that not only will Soldier Boy be in it, but The Boys season 5 will be coming in 2026, final season, confirmed as well. And there's also another spinoff called The Boys Mexico that is still kind of in development. So honestly, The Boys has become what it made fun of for a very long time. Like The Boys became a cinematic universe after they made fun of cinematic universes for years. So
it's still good though. I don't think they've missed yet.
For now, you do all this.
I am a little bit skeptical of all of how much they're expanding. Like Gen V, I was excited because of how much I love the Boys universe. I'm like, this has to be great. And honestly, it was. I loved Gen V. I thought it was a great show. Not perfect, obviously, but an absolute blast. So we'll see.
Yeah. And then going off of the Amazon is Invincible Season 3. We got our first look at Invincible Season 3. They're calling it the darkest and most intense era of the show. Season 4 was also confirmed.
It's brutal. And
we got the blue suit. So the blue suit is inbound. So Chuck, obviously you've read it, so can you give us a little tease of what's to come?
Dude, some really bad shit happened. So basically, he has like an entire era. I'm guessing all of season 3, he'll have this blue suit. And this blue suit era is just like so much bad, terrible shit happens to Invincible. And he literally says in the comics, like, I think I need to go back to my yellow suit because literally nothing good has happened since I put on this blue suit.
Bummer.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. People kind of just like start turning against him. He starts getting villains that just like want to do nothing. Yeah, but it's like really depressing at the same time. Like, okay, so the scene that we saw, there was kind of like lightning, you know?
Yeah.
We just saw like one scene for our first look.
Yeah.
So I forget what that villain's name is, but he's this electrical guy that like if you punch him or if you give him any kinetic energy, he converts it into electricity. He made the suit himself. he had a wife and a child, and he lost his sister to Omni-Man and Invincible in the fight when they fought. I think she was just like in the city. So this guy did like swore to kill Invincible. So he made this suit. He brought his wife and kid and like fake abducted them to get Invincible to come. And he was like, I'm going to kill you now. So then they fight. Invincible keeps punching him and shit. And then this electrical guy just unleashes everything onto Invincible and ends up frying his wife and kid.
Oh. Yeah.
Like just frying him. And then he's like, this is your fault, Invincible, and just like gets even more pissed. It's like a really depressing season. It's like a lot of shit like that, kind of. I think they'll also fight the Viltrumites.
Yeah, because we're going to get... Well, Omni-Man is going to escape with Alan.
Yes. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, do you guys want to know
that's all. That's all I wanted. That was a little tease.
Okay.
A little bit. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited for Invincible. Honestly, I might be more excited for Invincible to come back than... No, I think The Boys, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I'm ready to see the wrap-up of The Boys. I think The Boys... If The Boys sticks the landing, it's going to be pretty incredible. I am nervous they're not going to stick the landing, though, if I'm being honest. All right, moving on to a different comic book world. DC. So DC... Oh, wait, what?
No, I just want to say, I'm sorry if that was like a spoiler. That was just like a very...
No, what? You're fine.
Very brief. Yeah. Sorry.
DC has decided to change their logo. They're going back to the old 1976 logo, which is like the circle with the stars and the DC's kind of turned to the side. I think it's a great choice. Kind of embrace the past to kind of move into this next era of the future. I also think it's a lot more personality than their previous logos have been. So I think that's good.
I think you're in the minority thinking.
Oh, really? You don't like the new logo?
I'm kind of indifferent. I don't really judge a cinematic universe based on a logo, but I think a lot of people online are like, this is so lazy. As a graphic designer, I could have done this in 10 seconds. AI could have done this easily. Like, this is such a bad... People are just like salty because it's so simple.
I mean, I just think if you're going to do it, the thing that's cool, though, is they talked about how everything under DC is going to have the same logo with just a change to it. So, like, the comics are going to have that logo again, and then DC Studios is going to have that logo, but then underneath it says Studios, or like DC Games will have that logo and say Games. Like, I think that's pretty cool to have kind of the everything under one roof.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I'm with you. It's like, I think if it's for you, it's for you, and if it's not, it's not. I just like the classic look of it. All right, we kind of sped through a ton of news, honestly. So we're kind of just on our Comic-Con stuff now. The Batman. So the Penguin got a panel yesterday, and we'll talk about the trailer in a minute here. But Matt Reeves confirmed that Colin Farrell will return in the Batman Part 2, and that filming will begin early next year. So we're about 7 months out from filming. And he also confirmed once again that October 2nd, 2026, we will be getting the Batman Part 2. Which is extremely exciting, which means I think we're going to get a lot of casting rumors going up in the next few months. So we'll definitely talk about that as they come along. But I'm just very ready for the Batman too. I love the Batman. I think it's my favorite Batman movie. And I'm very, very excited to kind of get more in that universe for sure. Charlie, you'll get another popcorn bucket.
I was just talking about this. I was talking to Caitlin about the popcorn buckets. And she's like, I think the Batman is my favorite one.
The Batman one is awesome.
It's awesome. That is by far my favorite one that I own. I feel like it just fits. You can put it anywhere and it fits.
That is pretty great. Oh, I just got my brain massaged by Charles.
Wait, what?
Just absolutely massaging my brain with that noise.
What did I do?
When you're typing on your computer,
keyboard warrior over there just slamming those keys.
I was looking up my search was the Batman popcorn bucket.
Fantastic Four. Moving on to Marvel. Fantastic Four was the big kind of thing. Well, one of the big things at Marvel's Comic-Con. We got our first look at the Fantastic Car. They start filming on Tuesday. We also got our first looks at the Fantastic Four family, which have now leaked online. You can go look at them if you'd like. But everyone's saying it's a retrofuturistic 60s that the movie takes place in. Obviously, we know the Fantastic Four, but we also got our first look at Galactus, which is leaked online. And it definitely is Galactus. Big dude. Which
or a
is
girl.
awesome. No, it's a guy. We know Galactus is a dude.
It's a guy?
We already have casting for him.
Oh. Well, shit.
Which we talked about on this show, so way to listen.
I guess my memory's not as sharp as it used to be.
It's okay.
Did you see the new Marvel logo?
What?
There's a Marvel logo that has a female Galactus. Is that saying?
Oh yeah, she's in the comic right now.
Huh?
She's in the comics right now.
What?
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 What are you talking about?
Wait. There's a new Marvel logo.
I know, and she's in the comics. Yeah.
The comics.
So
but the Marvel logo had all the.
No, it doesn't. It also has other things in it from the comics because it's like their whole company. It's a company logo.
Okay.
Did you also see Miles Morales in it? Did you see Miles Morales in the logo?
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, is he coming? Come on.
That's exactly what I thought.
This guy. Well, he is eventually, but not right now. Well, Fantastic Four. So yeah, exciting. I'm very, very excited for Fantastic Four.
I cannot wait. I'm so pumped.
They gotta stick the landing with this one. This one you have to, because, well, as we're about to talk about it seems like this directly leads into the next two Avengers movies. So if this doesn't stick the landing, I will be very worried for what's to come, because I have some reservations on what we're about to talk about anyway when it comes to Avengers.
Do we think that Doom's going to get... Sorry, Jack, I just cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think this is like their the family that people can like get themselves into, especially with these bigger movies coming out.
I agree.
Like the big Avengers. And I think this is the group that they can relate to, along with other characters, of course. But I think this is their opportunity to really make them care about the Fantastic Four and then really elevate the stakes and make it difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped. I honestly, I didn't hate the casting choices. I was so pumped when that came out. I was just like, literally just got out of class and looked on my phone. What was it, Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
And they just like so sneaky. Marvel's just been so sneaky recently, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've realized that in the past, a lot of their stuff had gotten leaked before they even announced it. So shout out Marvel for not letting stuff get leaked.
Especially if this new movie that just came out.
Yeah, which we'll get there. I mean, even with the news that came out, I mean, obviously we're going to get to it, but even with the news that came out at Comic-Con, I feel like that somehow could have leaked. You know?
Yes.
And the fact that it didn't is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about both Avengers. So Kang Dynasty is dead. Obviously, everything happened to Jonathan Majors. Seems like Kang Dynasty was not going to happen. So in the same way WWE, if something happens, you have to go bigger and better. They went back to the well, Robert Downey Jr. And the Russo brothers. So the Russo brothers are back. Let's first talk about that. So they're directing both Avengers Doomsday, which is May 2026, and Avengers Secret Wars, which is May 2027. I am negative on the Russos coming back. I'll be honest. I think they've done incredible work for Marvel. I think that they have clearly the upper echelon of what Marvel's capable of. But since their Marvel departure, it has been nothing but mid to bad. And with that, I think that makes a big question mark on, were they hot in the moment and they lost the sauce, or is it possible for them to come back and do something great? I would like to think it's possible for them to come back and do something great. Obviously, I'm just a little worried about that. I also think it's a very safe choice, which, you know, Avengers, you want to make sure it's a safe choice. You want to make it as big as possible. I'm just not fully in love with that. I also think the last thing, and then I'll let you guys talk about, because I want to hear your thoughts on this, is I think that they're both going to be delayed a year. I think it's going to be 2027 and 2028. Because I was looking at the schedule, and if you do May 2026, right, that's 2 years May, which means the only movies since now and Avengers 5 will be a Thunderbolts movie, possibly Blade, which I doubt it, Captain America, and Fantastic Four. So 3 more movies, and we're at a new Avengers movie, and it's like, I feel like I don't even know who the Avengers are right now. We don't really have a team forming. And so it's going to be like, all right, are we doing multiversal Avengers where it's just like cameo fest? Or am I actually going to see the characters that I think are important to the MCU get their shot at becoming an Avengers team? So, but go ahead. I've talked a lot.
Jack, you want to go first or me?
You go. I'll follow you up.
Okay. I'll start with the Russo brothers. I am a fan of the Russo brothers, even if they have come out with some shitters. I think what they were able to accomplish, like the cinematic feat that they were able to accomplish, was just like insane. And I think it's a good move going back with them because they were able to just do such incredible things in the past. And yeah, they've been, like I said, they've been coming out with bad stuff, but obviously they have a touch for Marvel. So I don't think it'll be a fluke. I think they'll be able to do, good work. That being said, I agree. It probably should get delayed. I saw 2026 and I got really hyped because I was like, holy shit, that's really soon. But hearing you talk about it, it does bring some questions. Like, okay, how are we going to see the Avengers team come together? Like, are they going to come together in the Avengers movie, or are we going to see it prior? I mean, we have all that we've talked about in the past. We have all these loose ends that haven't really been tied off, or kind of tied together. So, I think it kind of has to get delayed. There has to be maybe 1 or 2 movies that come out that bring like Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange, all of them together.
Yes.
If it comes out in 2026, sweet, that's awesome. But I realistically, I don't see how they can. I mean, 2 years to introduce, come up with a story, film, come out with marketing, and release a movie, grand as this, as a large scale as this. I just don't really see how it's practical. I don't see it.
And that's my other thing with Fantastic Four is they start filming on Tuesday and the movie releases a year from today. So it's how is that possible? It's releasing 2 weeks after Superman, and Superman's almost done filming, and they've been filming for months. So it's how? Yeah. I think that's going to get delayed as well. So it's I don't know. I think that it's going to get delayed. I also think that probably Secret Wars is going to turn into Secret Wars Part 1 and 2. If I'm being honest. So, Jack, what do you think?
The Russo Bros, I think I'm kind of neutral on it. I really do think that I'm not super excited. I just think that the content that they're writing, it's going to be incredibly tough, especially with the standards that they set previously. Yeah. But that being said, I think I really did like what Marvel's able to do when they do use different directors. For example, Sam Raimi has a very distinct tone to his movies, especially with the Spider-Man movies as well as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Personally, the Multiverse of Madness is not my favorite movie by any means. We can very much tell that there was a director that had a vision and wanted to put his vision and spin on these characters. My problem with the Russo brothers is that obviously they made great comic book movies. But obviously, I'd like to see maybe a different set of tone. But that being said, I feel like that's a lot to ask from Marvel in general, just because their movies do tend to have a very similar tone. And if it kind of varies from that tone, I feel like they get some backlash.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I just think it's hard. You have an Avengers movie called Avengers Doomsday, and then Secret Wars they're gonna have hundreds of characters you have to juggle. It's yeah, I get. I mean, I'm with you guys. I'd like someone else to be in the role, but also for, I guess, just skill's sake, who's handled something like that before? A project that's large scale. I guess honestly, only the Russo brothers, which
and that they care about it. I mean, they truly do care about these characters, and they care about how it's told. So honestly, I trust them, and I think that they will do, and they have great intentions for this job. I don't think they're just saying, "Oh, we're going to come back just for a massive cash grab."
I hope so.
I don't feel like that's what they're doing here. I do think Marvel going back to them and RDJ is also I don't know. That's a whole nother thing. But my opinion overall for Marvel is like what was done with Logan. I think having James Mangold direct that and just have a vision that is not normally seen, especially in Marvel movies. I mean, that Logan's just a whole different movie in and of itself outside of Marvel movies, but it just has a completely different tone and it's so much darker, and it's just the way that the set is, the costumes, it's not super bright, it's a little bit darker, which maybe I'm just asking for Marvel to make some DC movies, but maybe that's just me. But either way, I'm excited, and I really hope that they can stick to these timelines. But I also do have some concerns, like you guys were saying, because they're setting some crazy deadlines for themselves. So I really hope they can pull it off, and it's great.
And I think another Spider-Man movie is going to be shoved in there somewhere. I mean, you're going to have to. Spider-Man is Sony is going to try to shove one in there. If I had to guess, I'd say probably summer 2026. So maybe in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. But I don't know. I also. All right, let's talk about RDJ. Let's do Doom. I had to sleep on this news. I really didn't like it at first. I really didn't. I was like, this is dumb. This is a bad choice. I thought about it a lot. And so here's my only way I think it works. This is going to be clearly the end of the multiverse saga. I think we're done with multiverse after Secret Wars. It's going to go back to maybe smaller scale, focus on one universe stories. The idea that the multiverse saga's big bad at the end of the day is a guy with the same face as the one who saved the universe at the end of the first saga, I think works well thematically. I think that's a very cool choice, where it's like the guy who looks like the hero because the multiverse is now the bad guy. I really do like that choice now that I've thought about it. My main issue, though, is I feel like it wastes Doom. And Doom is awesome. So it's like, why are we wasting Doom maybe on 2 Avengers movies and never seen again? Like, Doom should be a Thanos level threat where we build up to him over a decade. And now it's just see you in 2 years. I don't know. Jack, you like it or no?
I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it. Obviously, I love RDJ. I think he's the best. He rocks through and through. Yeah. And obviously, he got his Oscar with Oppenheimer, and I could not be happier for him. But seeing him in that more, I'm not going to say more mature role, but definitely a role that requires, I'm trying to think.
A bit more, I'd say a bit more nuance. And
it's a bit more, like the movie as a whole is just more serious.
Yes.
It's taken more serious by the audience as well as critics. I would have loved RDJ to continue to go on that route.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. I'm with you.
And honestly, I love him coming back to Marvel. I'm super excited. When I first found out the news, when you texted in the group chat, I literally thought you were joking.
Yeah, I also thought it was.
I thought it was a joke, and honestly, I still think it is a joke. And until it comes out, I will not believe it. That's just how I am with this. This is just like in Ted 2, where they're like, the next Superman is Jonah Hill. Like,
yeah,
for me, I'm just like, what? I don't know. I trust what they're doing here, hopefully. And I guess we'll get into, is Marvel back? The big question that always seems to need to be answered after every Marvel movie that comes out. But I don't know. His presence on that stage, I mean, it's hard not to get excited for it.
I agree.
The potential of him coming back. I mean, he's just, and I think for him coming back, he is completely owning it, saying, you know what, this is my shit. Like this, I am everyone. I am Marvel Jesus. Everyone is,
Yeah, he actually
like,
is Marvel Jesus.
He is Marvel Jesus. So very mixed overall. I'm not like super excited, but love Robert Downey Jr. and I think there's just a lot of exciting things ahead. Whether they end up good or not, they have given us a lot of things to look forward to.
I'm with you. Chuck, any thoughts on it?
I'm not a huge fan.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm with it.
When I saw it, same thing as Jack. When I saw it, I was like, "There's no way. Like, there's actually no chance that they did that." Because I think it's, I don't know, the way I see it, and it's a little bit, it differs from your view, Hunter.
Yeah,
kind of same foundation, but just my opinion comes out a little different. You have this guy who started the MCU and served as like the guy for over a decade, right?
Yeah.
And then he had this beautiful, brilliant death in kind of like the end of that whole universe,
Yes.
at the time, right? And they had a funeral for him, and everyone that watched it, like people were crying. I mean, it was really intense. And just bringing him back, I think it's a little lazy. I think they're going to get people to come just because Robert Downey Jr. is in it. And I get that like they want to sell tickets, but I just think it's lazy to cast him. I'm curious if they reached out to him or if he reached out to them. I kind of wonder if this was something that he expressed interest in doing, or they were just like, we need you to come back,
Yeah.
But seeing him as a villain, I think it does it's a different character, obviously, but it does do the whole Iron Man sacrifice. It kind of does it dirty and disrespects it a little bit, in my opinion. And
see, I'm gonna bring that back up in a little bit. I want to bring that back up in a little bit when we talk about Deadpool.
That's fine. I think your take, Hunter, like starting out with the whole multiverse, I think the multiverse this way, and the way you see it, I think it's interesting, and I can see where you're coming from.
I think that's the way they're gonna do it. I feel like that's the way they have to do it.
That's just not the way I'm interpreting the news.
No, 100%.
My instinct and immediate reaction was just like, really? Also, I agree. Doom should be. I mean, like, Doom is probably, if not the most powerful, one of the most powerful villains in Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, he should be a Thanos level threat and then some.
Agreed.
Like, he's brutal. And if they just do like a one or two Avengers film where they introduce him, or maybe they'll probably introduce him in Fantastic Four end credits, but if they just do like a one or two Avengers film and then that's the end of Doom, it's going to be like the opportunity we had with Doom in the MCU and just like the waste it was. If they can stretch this out and make him like a really big threat like they did with Thanos, then cool. But
yeah,
I'm just concerned they're going to waste him.
I think that's where I'm at too. I think they need to take it seriously. They can't just like be like, oh, here's Dr. Doom. Everybody get excited. They need to be honest, he needs to off at least
he needs
10 characters. At least.
Yes. I think he needs to do a lot.
Important characters. Characters that have had their own movies. They should not come back. That everyone felt the gravity. When Thanos shows up, beats the crap out of Thor, beats the crap out of the Hulk, and then proceeds to choke Loki and says there will not be a resurrection this time.
Yeah.
The entire movie theater is just in awe. It is the first 10 minutes of this movie. And yes, obviously they dragged on, with the after credit scenes and they teased Thanos for a while. But I think if they introduce Doom in a very similar way, I think they could easily make him exactly what he needs to be in however many movies they're going to try and introduce him in.
Yeah.
I just think that they have to capture our attention. They can't let it linger.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. The only positive I also think is I think it'd be very interesting. Obviously, I'm a Spider-Man fanboy. To see at this point, no one knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Like Peter's alone, and then he might see the one man who was basically his father figure now being the villain. I think that's an interesting choice. Do I think they'll explore that? I don't know. I also think it'd be a great way to have the symbiote come in for Spider-Man, where Spider-Man gets the symbiote maybe in Secret Wars, and then he's the one that kills Doctor Doom. And then that'd be like his first person he kind of truly killed. And it's also the face of the man who he's supposed to like love the most. That could lead very interesting into a darker turn for Spider-Man for that. But that's very selfish Spider-Man talk. Also keep the mask on. I get you cast RDJ. Keep the mask on. The mask has to be on 90% of the time.
Yep.
The mask stays on.
Wouldn't it have been awesome if we didn't know who Doctor Doom was, and then he had the mask the whole movie, and right at the end he got like Hulk punched and it came off and it was RDJ? I think that would have been way more interesting.
No,
I don't think so.
That would have been great. I think theaters would have been like, what?
Maybe.
I think theaters would have been. I don't think that would have been good. Would have been crazy. I don't think it would have been positive. Jack, you disagree?
Oh, I have no idea how I'd react to that. I would clearly lose my shit, but then I think I'd sit down after and I'd be like, interesting choice there. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like casting RDJ as Doctor Doom, to be completely honest, I feel like they have to use some of the Iron Man story. I mean, they don't have to, but I feel like with that casting, I feel like it's kind of impossible to ignore it. No?
I would not be shocked if he came, like if this Doctor Doom is from a different universe, came into the main Marvel universe and then saw who he was in this universe and kind of tried to trick everyone thinking that it was Iron Man back when he's really Doom.
Yeah.
You could have just recast Kang. I'll be honest. You could have just recast Kang.
My problem with Kang was you have Kang and Ant-Man, and obviously at the end of Ant-Man, he's like, oh my gosh, am I fine? Am I not fine? And then, but Kang got, or at least one of the Kangs got absolutely worked by Ant-Man. With all due respect, not trying to disrespect Ant-Man, because he could have easily killed Thanos one way, and it would have been so easy. But obviously they didn't write that into the story.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just seeing Kang get worked by Ant-Man, I think everybody was just like, yeah, this is not the guy.
So I'll have to see. But all right, let's talk some trailers. A Complete Unknown. This is the Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothy Chalamet, Edward Norton, Monica Barrero, and Elle Fanning. It is directed by James Mangold, who obviously Logan, the most recent Indiana Jones, Ford v Ferrari. I don't know a ton about Bob Dylan, I'll be honest. But I think this looks pretty solid. I think this looks pretty decent for a biopic.
Let it be known.
Yeah.
Sorry, you continue.
No,
and then
let it be known.
Nope. You go.
Okay, I just say we just talked about like a few weeks ago how we were kind of over musical biopics, and now we're getting another one. But I like this turn for Timothy Chalamet to be like, I'm just the next Leo. I'm the next, I'm the next guy. So I like it.
I thought the trailer looked like it's going. I mean, it'll be a good movie. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to make these musical biopics not enjoyable. You really have to make a bad movie, especially with the artists that they're doing. I personally am not a big Bob Dylan fan either, but I don't know. I'm excited for Timmy. I feel like most people are kind of excited for Timmy to just see what he's got, so I'll be there.
I also think it's going to be a big test for, is Timothy Chalamet a box office pull? Because yes, Bob Dylan's pretty famous, but I would say Bob Dylan is not obviously Elvis level, or I would even like Rocket Man like that. He's not like that level. So It's gonna be interesting to see how big this box office is, especially December, which has some other stuff in it. And then I think that'll tell us a lot about Timothy's box office ability. So,
I think it's a good opportunity for him too if he just really blows everyone out of the water with a good performance here. I mean, not to say he could be nominated for 2 Oscars because I don't even know if that's possible. But personally, I think Dune, I feel like he had his performance in Dune, it was not just another performance in a blockbuster movie. He was absolutely amazing. So I think he could really cap off this year. I mean, he has had an amazing run over the course of the past, I don't know.
100%.
I mean, I agree. And I think this is his opportunity to say, like, can Timmy draw people in? So.
Yeah. I mean, he did with Blanca. So.
Yeah.
Honestly, his IMDb is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It's
absurd.
It's like so good. Very opposite of Russell Crowe.
He can sing, and he can sing, right?
He can sing and dance, yes.
Let it be known that John Bulgarelli is really, really hyped for this movie.
For Bob Dylan?
Super hyped, yeah.
All right. So let it be written.
Yeah.
So let it be done.
Shout out John B, man.
Yes,
shout out John B. I'll tell him that we mentioned him in the podcast. He'll be like, what did you say?
Hey, what did you say? Transformers 1. So obviously we talked about it earlier. Big reviews, early reactions saying it's pretty awesome. We got a new trailer for it. Obviously starring Chris Hemsworth, Brian Terry Henry, Scarlett Johansson. It's the untold origin story of Optimus Prime and Megatron. It takes place 3 billion years before the first movies. I just don't think this looks very good.
It looks terrible.
Right? Like
it looks so bad.
And like people I trust on Twitter and stuff who've seen this are like, that's pretty great. So like maybe these trailers are just awful, but like I think this looks so bad.
It looks despicable.
I agree. I
like Transformers.
I don't know about you guys, but going to the movies to go see, what we've been reviewing every week.
Yeah.
I have seen this trailer more times than I would like to. Whenever it comes on, I am like, I know I'm gonna hear, Chris Hemsworth, what is it? He's like, where am I? Or something like that's how the trailer starts. He's like, yeah. And then you have Keegan-Michael Key, and he's
the Bumblebee joke in that room.
He's just like running around.
Arm lasers.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? If it's I think we'll all end up seeing it, but I totally agree. That's why
we're seeing it for the pod.
That's why Chuck was I think that's why it showed the face when you said it was getting good reactions, right? I mean,
I was very surprised because I watched the trailer this morning and I was like, this has nothing that makes me excited. It's like such a lame and slow and emotionless trailer.
Yeah, it also doesn't have like the great obviously Charlie and I really like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that came out last year. It doesn't have like that level of like artistic sauce either. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it fits for the style of the robots though. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Transformers are enormous, right?
Transformers.
And in this trailer,
meets the eye.
They look tiny. Probably because everything else is big, but it looks kind of like Bush League. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I get it, and I feel that too. But I feel like obviously these are Transformers, so they got to be like freaking massive.
Yeah.
And then they like show up on Earth, and they're just like
beasts.
I don't know. I think it's just weird because like there's a ton of them, so they look small.
Yeah. Oh well. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. All right. The last 3 trailers are all DC. So let's start with Creature Commandos. So Creature Commandos is the first entry in James Gunn's DC universe. It is about the group called Creature Commandos. I'm trying to get all the people here. There's a lot of people in the show. David Harbour, Frank Grillo, Sean Gunn, Alan Tudyk, Viola Davis, Anya Charlotta, Maria Bakova. And the interesting thing is, they're in animation here, but James Gunn already said when they show up in live action, they'll be played by the same actors. Which we already know that because we saw Frank Grillo Jr. Is playing Rick Flag Sr., and he is in Superman. We saw him on the set leak. So, cool, I guess. I
hadn't heard of a single hero or character in this show, but it looks kind of cool.
So there's Frankenstein, the Bride, this Weasel is from the Suicide Squad, obviously. And then Viola Davis is back as, what's her name? Oh, it's Amanda Waller. I don't know. I'm just, I'm excited for this new DC universe, but why Creature Commandos to start it?
I saw a criticism online, and it was pretty valid. Everyone knows that James Gunn can make a movie out of a bunch of random characters and turn it into like a family,
Yeah.
and have these, and everyone knows that is where he's succeeded in the past. And for him to start off DC like that, I think people would just like to see something a little bit different to show that he has some more range. And not that, I guess, people are worried about whether he will succeed in, recreating this DC or cinematic universe.
Yeah.
But I think it would reassure people a lot more if he were to come out and say, like, we're starting off with, a solo character series or whatnot. I think, and honestly, I kind of agree. I think it would make people a little bit, they wouldn't feel as, not necessarily nervous, but I don't know. I just don't think he's showcasing anything new here. It's just kind of like, okay, he's done this before.
I'm with you. I agree. I don't know. It just it doesn't move the needle a lot for me. I think the show looks great, but the fact this is like your big welcome to the universe thing. Also, a lot of questions. Is this the same Amanda Waller? Is it the same Weasel? Like, is this connected to the Suicide Squad? Like, what is this universe? I feel like without the clean break, there's a lot of questions still, and we're gonna have to see kind of where that goes.
It's gonna get hard. It's gonna be very hard to get people in on the DCU starting off with this. It's hard to start off with a TV show that's not in like a TV show that's not a movie in theaters. That is distinctly watch this for the start of the DCU.
Yeah, I also think that there's a serious question of, well, do a lot of people know about this? Like, yeah, we know about it obviously, but like, I don't know, the average casual person who is, hey, I'm excited for Superman. Do they know Creature Commandos is coming and it's connected? Like,
Sahil didn't even know Superman was coming out yesterday.
That's a bummer. But also, I don't blame him. If you're not online and you're not like looking at the stuff without a trailer, it's not coming. So
I don't think people really know about it.
Which I think is be great because we're going to get a lot of Marvel stuff next year that's very universy and stuff, and have a grounded Superman story will be pretty great. All right, The Penguin. The Penguin TV show. New trailer, new full trailer. This looks incredible. Like, this looks so good. This is the direction of DC that I like. Colin Farrell, Christina Milioti, Clancy Brown, Mark Strong. This will be, I think, is my most anticipated show the rest of the year, for sure.
I was not as high coming off the trailer as I think most people were. Colin Farrell, like, that is one of the best castings. Like, the choice for them to just cover him up in all this makeup, and I don't know if they're giving him like a fat suit or something, but
yeah,
I don't care. I mean, clearly the vision was there. They said, this is our Penguin. Let's build around him.
Yes.
This wasn't some stupid Elvis with Tom Hanks. Like, oh, let's put a fat suit on Tom Hanks and no, this was a fantastic choice for Penguin, and he was awesome. The Batman, honestly, I think coming off of the Batman, I love his character so much that honestly, regardless of what the trailers look like, I think I'll still watch it. But I don't think I necessarily felt like I saw a lot that I didn't already know about the character.
it's like this fierce monster who wants to reach the top and wants to be in charge. I think I just got some like kind of Gotham vibes, like the TV show. I felt like it was like, not that the quality was there, but I felt like it was just kind of like, and that it is the same. It's supposed to be the same place, so not that it can't be, but I don't know why, but that's just where my mind went to.
I very much felt the Sopranos energy from this.
Okay.
Especially with him and the mom in the beginning. I was like, this is very Sopranos.
I will watch it though. I am 100% there.
Yes, we will watch and we'll do a review every time.
And I think the trailer is still good, but I just don't think I was like, this makes me so much more excited. I think I was already excited for it, but it just, Very honestly, I hope they don't release anything new. I hope.
Yeah, I don't want to see anything else.
As blind as possible.
Don't want to see anything.
That was good. That was good.
Yes, agreed.
They showed some people that'll be showing up, some characters, and that's all I need to know. So,
I'm kind of indifferent on it right now. I was indifferent in the first trailer. This didn't really move it at all. I'll watch the show. I'm sure I'll enjoy it, but I'm not like super anticipating it.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
All right.
No way it's worse than The Acolyte. No way it's worse than The
Acolyte. Last but certainly not least, Joker Folie Deux. Second trailer. Get to see a little more tease of the musical aspects of this. And this is another one I don't want to see anything else on. I get it. I get what's happening. I get it. But I'm very in on this. And the more they talk about it, the more that I like it, because it's like, man, it just looks it's got that thing to it that I like.
Every shot from the trailers looks cinematic. Like everything about it. Like, not that, I don't know, that sounds weird, but every single shot that is in the trailer, it's just, I feel like I could just stop it and just look at it. I don't know if that.
I get what you're saying, and I agree.
It feels set up to where it's like no time is wasted, and obviously directors, when they have their vision, they feel like every scene is put there for a reason. But I am in love with this trailer. I could watch it over and over and over again, and the fact that this movie is going to be a musical, I am pumped.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Lady Gaga, I think she was great in A Star Is Born. And I think she showed some awesome range in that movie. So I am beyond excited for this. I think this November?
Yeah, November.
November?
No,
October. Okay. The run that we will have from October to November is going to be electric.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
I know that there are a just plethora of incredible movies.
Bro.
That are coming out from October to November. You like that vocab choice?
That was a good word. Yeah.
That's great.
I'm not really that high on this. Call me crazy.
This guy's crazy.
I'll call you crazy. Send you to Arkham.
Yeah, seriously.
Kind of a maniac, but I recognize that the first one was a great movie, and I recognize that this is probably going to be a great movie. I just think I'm not super into like very dark, twisted movies. So seeing this trailer, it doesn't get me super stoked to go to theaters and see it. I know that I'll go to the theater and I know that I'll recognize it's a good movie and I'll probably enjoy it, but it's just not like the kind of movie I think to myself, like, God, I'm fired up for it. You know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Hey, understandable. But it's coming in October. You can't stop it, Charles. As much as you want to try, you can't stop the Joker train.
When did I say
so soon?
No,
so
we get
soon.
it. We get you hate it and you don't want to stop it, but you can't. We get it. Should we talk Deadpool now? Do you want to talk Deadpool? Make you feel better?
Yeah, we'll talk about Deadpool.
All right. Let's see the buckets.
Little baby pool.
That's nice. Charlie, go grab your bucket.
Are we literally just all gonna grab our buckets right now?
Mine is so lame in comparison to your guys.
Yeah, Hunter, yours is kind of Bush League. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, I messed with the tins.
I mean, I can actually use this, which is nice. Like, I feel like you guys aren't gonna use that ever.
What are you talking about?
That is disturbing to look at.
Dude, it's kind of awesome.
So should I put my Wolverine clause for this review?
Are we going to talk about like our experience getting these or no?
Yeah, I think we should.
So I just happened to be working on the Thursday at home. Oh,
the baby pool.
That is a work of art. Like it's
it's awesome.
Look at like this. Are you ever going to drink out of it though?
No.
Yeah, that's like a.
That's gonna go on a shelf and never move.
And then this comes down.
I figured this would be a good decoration for the house next year, so I got that. But then, so I was working from home, and during my lunch break, I normally go for a run, and I was like, all right, I can just run by AMC to see if they have, all the buckets. And then I got there, and they had everything. So then I started texting you guys. I was like, the Deadpool, the floating Deadpool head. I think it looks cool as a display, but I just don't love it. And it was like, I want to say it was $10 more than the
arms, Charles. You make the arms go down?
No, they don't move.
But I want to say I was just like, I don't think the spinning head Deadpool was worth $40. And I was like, I really mess with this. I think it's sweet. But honestly, I think the coolest thing I was able to get was the cups. I think the cups are sweet. And the funny thing was, Caitlin just moved out, and she had brought the majority of our like cups and stuff for the house.
So that's what you're gonna have for the next few
I'm gonna
weeks.
be drinking out of these for the next few weeks. They ran out of Wolverine toppers, so they gave me another baby pool topper. But I'm hoping I can maybe run by the theater, probably today, and just like see like if they can, swap it out.
I feel so left out that I don't have a fun bucket besides the tin.
The tin is awesome. I love the tins.
The tin's cool. I'll use the tin more often. Like
exactly.
if I got the head, I would never have used it. I'll be honest.
Well, I got the tin for Across the Spider-Verse.
I have right there. I have the head.
No, the tin, not the helmet.
Like?
It just has all the characters on it. It has like, Gwen. It has Miles.
Mine is.
I like it. Cool. You can actually eat out of that one.
Yeah, see, is it?
Like this one's totally just a display piece.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
that baby pool is never gonna leave Charles's shelf.
No, it's
yeah. Let me see. Look at this. When I went to my movie theater, so I went by myself, and I was like, I just need a picture. So I asked these people to take pictures for me in front of like front of the poster.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, I got this one too. It's just like I just felt like I was so pumped. I had my Deadpool.
Dude, you're fired up.
I was so amped. You have no idea.
You look pretty fired up.
Okay, you can't tell me this isn't just absolutely electric. I mean, look at the Deadpool cup that's in the soda machine.
That's pretty awesome.
I was like, I don't know, that just looks sick.
That's pretty sweet. Don't lie.
I should have gotten the cups.
Along with your 2 buckets.
I did write a little ditty about my experience not getting the cups and the buckets, but I'm not a very good singer, so I'm debating singing it. I wrote it in the chair before the movie started.
You can just jingle it.
Do you want to hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hang on. Let me get out, Mike.
What?
Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous.
All right. I'm not gonna play it, obviously. I can't because I'm not talented enough. All right. You can't judge me for my singing voice because it's not good. All right. Can you hear that? Can you hear that?
I can't hear anything.
What? Can you hear that?
I can recognize it's Piano Man, but it's very
okay. It's Piano Man. So just imagine Piano Man.
Okay.
It's 7:00 on a Thursday. The opening night has arrived. I shuffle in to the multiplex. ready for some Deadpool 3.
Chuck, I think it's funny how we can't hear the music.
I say I hope they have some buckets left, but then I see the line. The concessions, well, they're stretched. They're stretched all the way past Theater 5. Oh, la da da, did da, la da, did da.
So he has a keyboard but doesn't know how to play it.
Yeah. Leave us a bucket, you scalper man. Leave us a bucket tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for collectibles. I'm sure your eBay's doing all right. And that's my little ditty about
That
my
was
experience
fantastic.
trying to get a
Honestly.
bucket. Thank you.
That was
I'm
good.
bummed you
That was
guys couldn't
good.
hear Piano Man instrumental playing a little bit because I did play it, but imagine it was playing.
That was good.
That was
Thank
very
you.
good.
Thank you.
That was very witty. I was like, the scalpers are crazy, dude. Because
Dude, I went up and I was like, "Do you guys have enough?" He's like, "I'm so sorry." People came in right at opening and bought like 6. I was like, "Okay, I can't help myself."
I was going to do that if I was at home.
You're the worst.
well, I went in. I went in literally as they opened. I was the first person to get one in my theater, and I was fully prepared to just see like a ton of like 50, 45-year-old dudes just buying up all, like everything. And I showed up early, and they're just like, "Dang, dude, you're here early." So that's when I learned that my theater, well, it's in DC, it's in Georgetown, which, not that I don't think a lot of people who would collect the popcorn buckets.
Well, I
live in
bet
Georgetown.
it being summer, probably Georgetown.
Yeah, a large student
2/3 less
population.
full. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was funny though because I did get it in the middle of the day, and they're like, "Do you want popcorn or something?" And I was like, "I'm actually coming back for my movie later. Is there any chance I could get my popcorn then?" And he's like, "I don't know. No promises. I don't. If they let me off early, then I gotta go out." And I'm like, "All right, that's cool." Like, so I showed up. I want to say like 30 minutes before my movie was supposed to start, and me and the worker like locked eyes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Yes, I don't have to pay for a large popcorn." And I just show up. He's like, "Do you want anything else?" And I'm like, "No, large popcorn's great." And I can't tell you how good that felt. I mean, I already paid for the popcorn, but I was fully prepared to have to buy another one. So it was a beautiful, beautiful moment.
Did I tell you guys my popcorn bucket stories?
No, I want to hear them.
So, okay, I called 5 AMCs on Tuesday. Because I was like,
God.
I would literally, they'd answer like, "AMC, how can I help you?" "Hey, are you guys selling Deadpool popcorn buckets yet?" "No, we saw them Thursday." I'm like, "All right, cool." Like every single time. But there was one, because Dune, I remember we got them early. Like they were
Dune came out a few days before.
Yeah, so I was like trying to see if they were coming out early because I literally thought that they would sell out immediately in New York. There's one theater that was like, "Oh yeah, we come out with them on Wednesday." I'm like, "Okay, sweet." So I got some buddies on Wednesday, and we went after work to this theater, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't sell them yet." Okay, you guys lied, but so then I went to like another AMC that was a few blocks away. They also weren't selling them, and there was a Regal across the street. And then I saw that the Baby was at Regal, so I was like, "Oh, might as well see what they're up to."
Is this in Times Square?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So I went to that Regal, and I like walk up to the front desk. I'm like, "I'm not here to see a movie. I just want to get the popcorn bucket. Like, do you guys have them yet?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, you can just go upstairs. I'll call them. They'll let you through." So I go upstairs, and the guy's like, "Where's your ticket?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just here to get the popcorn bucket." He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you can go in." So then I go in, and they had a bunch of the Baby Deadpools left, and apparently, like all across the country, no one could find any. So I think I got pretty lucky. But yeah, I just bought it, and they're like, "All right, cool." They didn't give me a free drink or anything or popcorn with it. It was kind of scuffed. But anyway, Thursday, we have a happy hour after work. But I'm thinking like, okay, my showing's at 8:00. Happy hour starts at 6. I think that everything's gonna be sold out by the time I get to that theater. So before the happy hour, I ran to an AMC, and I saw that the buckets. So I bought one. They're like, "Do you want a popcorn?" I'm like, "Nah, you can keep popcorn." And then I just took the bucket with me to the happy hour.
That's so, dude. You took this to your happy hour.
I put it in my backpack because I didn't want.
Okay.
I was explaining to people. I was explaining to a bunch of people. I was like, "Yeah, I got to go to AMC to get a popcorn bucket before," and they actually made me feel like very insecure. Like the way they looked at me when I said that, they were like, "Okay, sorry."
You know what? You just gotta own it, Chuck. These people don't get it.
So yeah, I brought it to the happy hour. Went to the showing at 8:00. Sure enough, they were sold out.
Crazy.
So.
I mean, honestly, it's totally valid to show up early just because, but like I showed up and they still had like popcorn buckets when I came to go see my movie. So I was kind of like, I didn't really need to run, but it's like 5 minutes away from my house. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's worth it. The one thing I do want to kind of briefly talk about is that obviously I think it's good that there are fans that want to make sure they get a popcorn bucket so like they go before their movie is so they can go and get it, you know? But I think you also have the other side of that where there are people that have no intentions of seeing the movie whatsoever. And those people buy up, I mean, the scalpers, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm talking about the scalpers. I'm saying obviously it's nice that you can go in and buy the popcorn without having a ticket, but it sucks because there are so many people that have zero intentions of going to see the movie. I think that I don't think they'll change this because obviously they're selling out and it doesn't matter to them. But I think this would be a great way for them to also increase their revenue. If they required you to at least have a ticket for the day of.
I'm with you. Like
in order to enter in and get a bucket.
Because the scalpers they buy a ticket also to get
Exactly.
in.
Exactly. They would buy a ticket just to go in. And honestly, I was ready to use my stubs list just to be able to go. Too. I was like fully prepared, like, okay, if I need to buy a ticket to go in, that's fine. But like, no, they'll let anyone, if you're just like, yeah, I just want to buy a bucket, they'll just let you through. Yeah. So I think AMC has a great opportunity to literally just sell a couple extra tickets. It's, you know,
I'm with you.
Just some food for thought.
I'm with you. All right, let's talk about the movie now.
Yeah.
Deadpool Wolverine. I think we should do non-spoiler first. Let's do non-spoiler first, for sure. And then it's hard to talk about this movie without spoilers. So why don't we give our scores out of 100? We'll go around the horn. Give our scores out of 100, give some non-spoiler thoughts, and then we'll go into spoilers. So, Jack, why don't you go first?
All right. So, right now, I am at an 80 out of 100. That is my score. Mm-hmm. I just want to say, if this was my big whole rant that I had on my Letterboxd review, if you think that Deadpool is going to change everything in the MCU, I don't think you're necessarily prepared for this movie. Because I think Deadpool movies at their core have always been action-filled comedies.
Yeah.
And I think that this movie is, at its heart, a comedy as well, with some great action sequences and obviously a lot of nostalgia.
Yes.
A lot of people looking forward to the cameos. The cameos are fantastic. I think they lived up to my hype. And I talked to a friend after I got off, literally exited the movie theater, and I remember leaving the theater, and I was just like, I had such a great time. It was so much fun. And I was like, hey, man, like, what'd you think of the movie? He's like, I thought it was like, all right. I thought it was okay. And to be completely honest, I can totally see someone having that viewpoint because I think there are a lot of parts of this movie. It's like you were either a part or you grew up with some of these cameos, or you really connected with some of the humor, or you just don't. I think that's how this movie is. And I think I loved it. I thought it was a blast. But also, that being said, I think the more times you watch this movie, I think it's not going to get better than the first time you watch it. Yeah, and I will stand by that. I will stand by that opinion. I think the more times you watch it, it unfortunately will not be nearly as good. But I think the hate that's coming at this movie, unfortunately, I think it is valid. But there seems to be a more overwhelming majority that did enjoy this movie. So I'm very happy that it's getting positive reviews.
I'm with you. Chuck?
That's all I got for not spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it an 87. I think looking at our letterboxds, I think I was definitely the highest on this movie, which is fine. This is probably the most fun I've had in a theater. Probably since the Avengers movies. I enjoyed this theater experience, both of them, so much. The only problem with my theater experience, there were two guys down from me, and it wouldn't even be that funny of a joke, and I would just hear him, ha, literally every time, and it made me want to strangle him because it'd be like just nothing, and he would just start, ha. But I think the humor was awesome. I think the soundtrack was great. I think, how do I explain it? I agree though, Jack. If you're going into this thinking like, oh, this is going to save the MCU, they're going to like tie so much together. It's not. And I also don't think that's really what the purpose of this movie was. I kind of went into it thinking like, we're seeing Deadpool and Logan team up, like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Like this is something that I've always wanted to see. They've been mentioning, or Deadpool's been mentioning Logan since Deadpool 1. And they're like best friends in real life. That's what I was most excited for in this movie. And then everything else was just like an added benefit. So like this met and exceeded my expectations. And I had pretty high expectations. Objectively as a movie, it's not great. Like the plot, I think it's a good movie. Watching it a second, I didn't notice it the first time, but watching it a second time, I recognized a lot more. The plot has a lot of holes. And there are sequences like flashbacks and stuff where it's like that kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. But I'm gonna go with it, you know. Maybe you guys agree, maybe you don't. So like looking at like that, you won't be as impressed. But just the feeling that I got watching this movie, the number of times I laughed out loud, which doesn't happen super often in a movie theater. The cameos were just awesome. The jokes around those cameos were so awesome. Like it was just a blast, and I can't not rate it high because of that. Agreed though, Jack. Seeing it a second time, it wasn't like I saw a review. Like I wish I could watch that for the first time again because it might have been yours actually. I think it was your review. Like that you'll never watch that movie again and feel the same just because you know what's gonna happen. And they hid those cameos so well. So seeing them in the moment was really special. And so like I'm grateful to have that, but at the same time it is a bummer that I'm never going to get to experience that again. You know? So
yes.
But
I'm giving this a 75 out of 100. I agree with a lot of what you guys just said. I think that looking at it objectively as a film, there are some issues with it. And I'm sure we'll get into those later. But I think as a fan, as a person who is very excited about and loves these characters, I think it works extremely well. I think honestly the direction is pretty strong, especially when it comes to the action scenes. There's the few in particular, the opening scene, then the kind of final battle scene. I think are very well directed action scenes. I think the comedy all works well. I just think the plot is semi-thin, and I don't know. It's kind of funny. I feel like this, at points, gets to that Flash level of cameo cringe, but not like fully. It's hard to say that line. But I did enjoy it. Like I had a great time. I think that it's hard because I think that if you took a movie like Endgame, right, and you're like, look at it objectively as a film, I think it works a lot better than this does. But I feel the same way about both of them, and that's where it's hard. But yeah, I give it a 75. I definitely understand the issues in it for sure, but I mean, I had a great time. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So I do think I also really love the choice of it not being an MCU movie and more being a love letter to Fox, which I think is a very strong choice. And I think, all right, let's get into spoilers now. I think that the ending credits with the Fox love letter was probably one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. I loved that because that's, I think we all kind of grew up on the X-Men movies and then even Fantastic Four and stuff like that. And it's like that was Marvel before the MCU. And it's like that was what we had. And now it's gone, obviously. And so this was kind of a love letter to what came before. And I think that worked really well. Should we just kind of go beat by beat of this movie and from the beginning to the end?
Sure, I guess.
Do you guys think it desecrated Logan?
No.
See, I don't either. I don't either. I think that it worked well. Obviously, the opening with him using Logan's remains to decimate the entire TVA was pretty great, but
it's fucking awesome.
I'm glad it wasn't the
awesome
Logan that we're used to. I think that would have been a big mistake. If they pulled Logan out of the ground and he was like fine, big mistake. I'm glad it was a different Wolverine. So that was a good choice, but I don't think it really affected Logan, which is interesting because we talked about, obviously, Charlie just mentioned maybe the RDJ stuff. Well, RDJ's Doom kind of changed your opinion of Iron Man and that sacrifice. Well, Logan had a very similar sacrifice. Now he's back, so it's like, I guess there's a way to do it where it doesn't affect the way we visualize it and the way we see it. So hopefully it's done that way.
And I feel like they did a good job of making sure that this was a different character than we'd seen before.
Correct. Yeah.
Because if they'd just given us the old original Wolverine that we're used to, I think that it, not necessarily that it would have changed my view on whether it changes how I see Logan.
Yeah.
But I think if it was a similar Wolverine, maybe it might be a little bit different. But clearly this Wolverine is so much different than the one we'd seen in 7 movies?
Yes.
In the past. I mean, holy cow. Like, we have seen Wolverine, I'm not going to say the same Wolverine for 7 movies, but we have seen this character, this full character arc in the span of 7 movies. And they really put an emphasis to make sure that this was a different, a more angry, more unsatisfied version of Logan, which I liked it. So didn't change a thing for me with Logan. I think you rewatched Logan, and I think the movie's just so good in and of itself that it can carry you beat by beat throughout the movie, and it just has an ability to connect with you emotionally, especially with how they tie in. Is it X-23? X-23, yeah. I think they tie that movie's just so well done. I think it's hard to screw it up.
I agree. I think the TVA stuff worked fine. I do think it's funny that, like, the end of Loki season 2, the TVA is kind of reset and there's a new change, obviously. But then this guy kind of wants to do the old ways, and it's like, didn't we learn that was the very clearly wrong way to do it, which almost destroyed the entire TVA? So I thought that was fine. I liked I actually liked the story beat of him wanting to join the Avengers and the Avengers saying no, and that kind of put him on a midlife crisis. But yeah, I just think the story was thin. But also, I feel like this is the best version that this movie could have been. Like, it was never going to be a groundbreaking drama. Like, this was about the best way you could have done it. So I'm pretty impressed with that. Let's talk cameos, I guess, starting with the first one. Happy Hogan back. A younger Happy Hogan, which was fun because also he was Foggy Nelson in the Daredevil movie that we later got another cameo for. Then we moved on to, we got to see Thor crying with Deadpool in his arms. Can't wait for Robert Downey Jr. to kill Deadpool. And And then what was next up? I guess. Oh, Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill as Wolverine was pretty awesome. He looked great.
That's
great as Wolverine.
He said you were just leaving.
You were just leaving.
You just
leave, bub.
That's awesome.
That was pretty awesome. I would love to see Henry Cavill back. And then obviously the big another one was Chris Evans back as Human Torch, which I really like that one. I think that might have been my favorite cameo of the entire movie.
Did you guys know it was Torch, or did you think it was Cap?
I knew it was Torch. The second I heard his voice, I was like, it's Human Torch. Because why would, if you're going to bring Chris Evans back, are you going to make him Captain America again, or are you going to make him Human Torch? Yeah. And
in the moment.
Yes. For how much he was in love with Captain America, that made it even better.
In the moment, I think I was just holy crap, they got him to come back for this.
Yeah.
And then I'm just kind of going through it in my head, just what's going on, what's happening. I don't think I had the time to sit there and think is this the Human Torch? Is this Captain America? I was just Chris Evans in an MCU movie. All right, I guess it's Captain America. And then I saw his suit. I saw the blue suit, and it was so quick that I feel I didn't put them together as fast as I should have.
Mm-hmm.
I was that kind of looks like a Fantastic Four suit in a couple areas, and then it's just it was awesome though. When that happened, I was just that floored me. I was just.
And then
it was awesome.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
That was tough. I kind of wish we had seen him fight a little more.
I like the line after that though. That was a good line. Of he was really hurting the budget.
Oh
yeah, that was a perfect.
We don't know that guy.
The end credit scene with him also was pretty great, or it actually was him saying that the whole time.
Yes.
Then the next big cameos was Blade,
all the
Elektra, Gambit,
too,
and X-23. Of those, I think Gambit was pretty great.
Gambit was my favorite.
Fantastic.
Gambit was pretty awesome. I'm actually glad we didn't get that movie after seeing Gambit.
Really?
What? Why?
A whole movie with that voice would have been brutal. Come on.
No, I kind of loved it.
I messed with it. I had a good time. His action sequences were fantastic. I loved his whole.
When he did the whole card thing like that.
Yeah, it was awesome. Honestly, not that I'm saying we need one now, but I was very pleased with how that took place.
The Blade music, when he walked in, the music that played, was crazy.
I'm with you. It was pretty great. I loved the Daredevil joke about, I'm sorry, Daredevil died. And she's like, because obviously married in real life, divorced in real life. But yeah, I think, I don't know, Deadpool Wolverine works very well for what it is. I think we talked about it a lot. There's an issue with the story. There's a little bit too of the clap at cameos, please. But it clearly is made with so much love. And I think that is really special. I did want to talk about the fight. And then we can talk about the villain. The fight with all the Deadpools was great. That was an awesome one-er of them going through, even in the bus, and all the different Deadpools with the different personalities. Loved all that. And then obviously Peter showing up.
You had a Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
Matthew McConaughey was the Western Deadpool.
Blake Lively, Kid Pool. I'm a little bummed out because Kid Pool in the comics has 2 lightsabers as his swords, and we didn't really see that after we saw Kid Pool.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Also, okay, for the villain, Cassandra Nova. Incredible power over her hand going through people's faces. I really like that. I think she was used well. Obviously, no one's coming to this movie to see the villain. Let's be honest. You're not. You're coming to see Deadpool and Wolverine. And I think they just had a good amount of her to make it a passable villain. The ending I did really like about Wolverine wanted to feel like the hero, and Deadpool's kind of like, it's my turn to do that, and then they do it together. All I could think though was, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. They did the ending of Guardians of the Galaxy again. So it's like them holding hands and channeling the power, and because they were together, they survived instead of being by themselves where they would die. So yeah, they just did Guardians again, which honestly, if you're going to copy any movie, copy Guardians.
Yeah, but Wolverine was shirtless, so that was good.
Yeah. What insane shape he is in. I mean, how old is he, Jack? Is that real? Like, is that the way he actually looks?
55. I think
he's 55. That is insane. He looks like that.
If I ever look like that, ever.
Even for a day, I would never shut up about it. I would never shut up about it.
I would not wear clothes.
I would take the
anywhere.
whole day.
I would just stare at myself for hours.
Yeah, I would take photos of myself all day and just like have them.
I'd put them everywhere.
Like, this is what I looked like.
I would be insufferable on social media. Everyone would unfollow me. They would be like, "What a douchebag."
Bunch of thirst traps.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting how the casual audience responds to this. Also, so with my dad, he's a Marvel guy, but he doesn't watch the shows. He just goes to the movies when I go. And he said this is his favorite movie he's seen since Top Gun Maverick, which he watches once a month. So like, that is incredible praise. What?
Really quickly, I just want to acknowledge that Top Gun Maverick is like the dad movie of the century.
I know. So somehow this is also
everywhere.
The dad movie.
Cannot stop watching this movie. They just I woke up this morning, watched Top Gun Maverick, and put my shoes on and went to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it all over again tomorrow. That's wild.
But yeah, so he loved it. And my in theater loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm interested because my dad's like, how was it? And I was like, it was like, and obviously I'm going to tell him how, like, it's good. Like, it's not great. How it made me feel was great, but the movie as a whole is not great. So I'm like, are these, cameos really going to land for him? Is the humor going to land for him? So I wasn't really sure about that, but either way, glad it at least landed with your papa.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I also really liked, and I think we're kind of wrapping up here. I think what was really strong was, as I mentioned earlier, that this wasn't just, hey, look at Deadpool's in Marvel. He's in the background of Avengers Endgame now. He's watching Spider-Man. So like, it was really a love letter to Fox. And it was really like kind of like the Fox universe is dead. And so thank you to all of you who loved it. This is the last hurrah. Maybe you'll see us in Secret Wars, but I'm really glad we got to say goodbye. And I really think that was a strong choice, and I really liked it.
So I want to say when they were playing the ending with the tribute to Fox and all that, I was like, it was making me kind of sappy. I was like, dang, like, dude, this is like my childhood. Yeah. I remember having like Wolverine action figures as a kid. Like I would get the X-Men 2. I had him in his what was it, like the black, or maybe X-Men 1, him in his black X-Men outfit. I mean, I'd play action figures and stuff as a kid, like, and then they show the Fantastic Four with Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan, and I'm just like, yeah, not you. Not you.
Get out of here.
Oh my gosh, thank you. No, not you. Get him off the screen right now.
It was funny they didn't show Blade though. I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
after Blade was in the movie.
I just thought it was very interesting. Oh my gosh,
dude, the proposal joke though.
That was great. Nice pool was pretty awesome.
So funny. The proposal. And then just silence.
I can do it too.
Shout out that Deadpool for real.
Yeah, the one that couldn't regenerate.
You don't have regenerative powers? No.
I did love Wolverine walking by with the dog pool, and no one would shoot at him. That was pretty great.
Dude, when he got like shot like 40 times and he's like bleeding out of his mouth, I think I'm hit. So funny.
I will say, I didn't love the mask.
What?
I didn't love the mask. I thought the eyes were not great. I loved everything but the eyes.
Oh.
I think they should have just went with his eyes underneath.
Oh no, I loved it.
I love the mask, but not the eyes.
Yeah, I thought the eyes were a little interesting as well, but it wasn't enough. It was like, all right, the fact that we're finally getting this, like, I was just kind of like, it looks good enough for me to be happy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He looks like Batman, but he can move his neck.
Yeah, that was good.
Clearly,
If
I
Batman
have
can
not
move his
seen The
neck,
Dark Knight. Bro got a costume change.
All right. I think that
Yeah.
is that anything else from you guys? No? Is that Deadpool Wolverine? I'm seeing it again tonight. I think I'm gonna go in with a new expectation, and I think that my next Letterboxd review probably will be the same, if not a little lower. I don't know.
That's where I meant to.
Yeah, it might be a little lower.
But I really just enjoy. I had an awesome time, and I know maybe that's not the best way to look at cinema nowadays, but like, if you like something, you like something, and I really like this. So
Yeah, same.
feed me all the slop, Marvel. Just keep feeding me the slop. But
So
that is
Jenna's going to go see it.
Oh, nice.
Jenna's going to go see it. And she was like, do I have to watch anything before? I was like, yeah, there are a couple things. Have you seen Logan? No? Okay, you should go see that. Fantastic Four, the originals. You should probably see those. You should probably see Blade and Daredevil as well. And I named like 4 or 5 movies. And she was like, bruh.
Yeah, you don't need to see those. But yeah, so that is Deadpool Wolverine. Next week, we got the return of M. Night Shyamalan, baby, with Trap. We get Trap. We'll talk some Trap. And Charlie's going to go see Harold and the Purple Crayon for us and give us a rundown on that. Actually, Jack might, because he'll be so bored with your girlfriend gone. So like he'll just be using AMC today.
I'm gonna make up the entire box office numbers for.
Yeah, we've
Harold
sold
and the
2
Purple
tickets.
Crayon.
It was Jack seeing it twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is. I think that's it. So Trap next week. Be sure to watch it. No real shows or anything are starting until the fall. So I think that's it for us. We talked a lot today. Long pod. But Deadpool Wolverine, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom, and a lot else. So also this movie just made all the money, by the way. This movie made infinite money. Like it's not even
so much. It made
so much money. So, but yeah, that is all. Oh, no, that's actually it. Never mind. All right. Anything else for you boys?
Nope.
Cool. All right. Well, for Jack and Charles, I'm Hunter, and thanks for listening or watching. Have a good one.